Good morning. Happy Monday morning crafty coffee break. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe that's too much. And let's see if I can move some of these lights off the glare. Let's see how that looks on my computer. It's a beautiful morning here in Southwest Michigan. Just give me 1 second to see if my computer's going to catch up. There it is. All right, turn my voice off because I don't need to hear me. That looks pretty good. I cleaned off my desk, so I moved things around a little bit. So I just want to make sure we're good. Here's our new catalog. We're going to do something fun out of the catalog today. If you would like a catalog, let me know. I'll drop one in the mail to you. But before I go into this, let me talk about a few things. Paper pumpkin. If you know me, you know I love bikes. And our next paper pumpkin is all about bikes and blooms. You have until June 10th to order the paper pumpkin kit. If you're interested in paper pumpkin, here's the QR code you can scan and subscribe monthly, single, yearly, however you would like. If you have questions, excuse me, about paper pumpkin, just let me know. Product of the month. Now, how cute is this? This should be available beginning tomorrow. Good morning, Evelyn. Should be available beginning tomorrow. And look how cute those are. The little Highland cow, the snail, the koala, the penguin, even some cute little sentiments in there. You can get this with a $75 purchase before shipping and tax for only $5. So keep that in mind. It's a cute product of the month. Very cute. So today we're going to play with ephemera. If you're not sure what ephemera is, I will show you in a minute. But I'll show you in the catalog. We're going to be playing with, I don't have a paper sampler done for this. We're using this paper, the Everyday Essentials Mix and Match. It's kind of fun paper. And then we're using the Under the Sun Mix and Match Ephemera on the cards today. And the stamps we're going to use are the Scalloped Blooms Bundle. But this also comes in a suite, but I only have these stamps and dies right now. I'll show you those in just a second. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. Where did I stick them? All right, here are the stamps and dies we're going to use today. Cute sentiments, and these scallops are so fun because they go from really tiny to a pretty decent size. Makes beautiful cards, and I use some of the scallops on the cards today. The ephemera is just basically little punch outs. I used a lot for the cards that I made, but they're just punch outs. And these happen to be sticker punch outs, so that it makes them even easier to stick on your cards. So fun to use. So, I mean, you'll see some of the ones that I use. Look how cute are those. Rain boots, sunglasses, flip-flops. So fun. So we're going to use these on our cards today. Let me show you our first card we're making. With the little watering can. How cute is that? I'll have to pull my little cheat sheets out here so I can tell you some dimensions. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. It's always kind of sketchy. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so of course we always start with our card base. Excuse me. Today we're starting off with, Lost Lagoon 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Just go ahead and burnish that. Let's move this off to the side. I should learn to talk more before I come on. So there's our card base. Then our first card layer is some DSP, which is 4 by 5 1/4. That'll go right there. And then we have a piece of basic white that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, which will go right on top of that. We have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 3 by 1 1/2. And then out of the dies, we cut out a scallop in Bubble Bath. Then we're going to use the watering can from the Ephemera pack. I'll punch out the little. And then, excuse me, we're going to punch out some little flowers, or not punch out, die cut some little flowers from the dies. So that's the smallest scallop that comes in the set. How cute are those? All right, let's get started. Let me move this to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll glue down our DSP layer. And even the back side, if you're into scrapbooking, some fun journaling for on the back of that. So let's glue this down. I haven't used a lot of ephemera. I always kind of felt like it was cheating, but after I did this class, I thought, oh, these are kind of cute. And then, you know, if you go buy, I mean, if you dare to buy cards at the grocery store or at the store, you'll see cards that have little additions to them. So I think it's fine. And we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Oh, I probably should have stamped first. But wish me luck that I stamp it right the first time so I don't have to rip it off. Should always stamp before you glue. I speak from experience. So we're going to use Lost Lagoon, and we're going to use the stamp. Thank you for being there for me. Hopefully, I'll do this. We're going to go up kind of high because we're going to put all that other stuff below it. Got a little heavy-handed. Let's hope it doesn't transfer. You know what? I'm going to clean that off because I don't trust myself. We're going to take 2. Since I glued it down, I can't fix it. So let me try that again. I'm not going to stomp so hard on my ink pad this time. There we go. Hopefully I'm straight. Looking around my camera makes it tough. Oh, I didn't do too bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So next we're going to glue down our little scallop. Just kind of get an idea where we're going to put that. Because we want to make sure that, yeah, that should work. We stick it right about there. We'll glue this down. Center it. And then we'll glue this down on top of it, a little piece of DSP. Right there. And then our watering can, we're going to go ahead and pop up on dimensionals. We could just stick it flat, but let's give it a little more dimension. Because yeah, you could just tear that off and it'll be a sticker. But I'm going to pop it up a little bit. You know, I think I might find a tiny one to stick up here. Okay. Pop those off of there. And we'll stick the watering can right about there. And these little flowers, to give them a little bit of dimension, we just kind of crumbled them up a little bit. Just to kind of so they're not laying flat. I mean, they might get flat if you put it in the mail, but they still kind of give them a little bit of dimension. And then, I'm going to close my glue. I'm going to use some mini glue dots to stick those down. Put this Lost Lagoon one right here. We'll do a pink bubble bath here. And another Lost Lagoon right here. And then we're going to embellish them with some of our rhinestones. These are fun because you can take your blends and color them to any color you want. I do that a lot. So we're just going to take these the little ones and stick them in the center. I guess I could center that a little bit better. There. In there. And there. This card, we're also going to decorate the inside. So we're going to take another piece of DSP that is 4 by 2, and we're going to glue that down. To right about there. And then we're going to take a piece of our white cardstock that is 3.5 by 4 3/4 and glue that down. About there. Looks a little crooked. Oops. And then we took one of our ephemera, a little bubble bath arrow, and we're going to use this one as a sticker. So we'll peel the back off. And we're going to stick that down here in the bottom right corner. And we're going to take our last 2 little flowers. We'll go ahead and give them a little dimension. And we'll take I think I use glue dots. We'll just take a couple more glue dots. They're not very bulky. Then stick those down, and we'll take 2 more rhinestones for the centers. And 1 more just for good measure. And just like that, card number 1 is finished. How pretty is that? I think that little watering can is so pretty. Oh, I guess I did my flowers in a different order. See that? You can just change it up however you want. Excuse me. Maybe I should go get a drink of water. Okay, our next card let's see if that drink of water helps. Our next card is using this fun little like lemonade jar in a little swirl, and then we also use the pretty in color butterflies. So we're starting with a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5 of cloud cover. This is cloud cover, scored at 4 1/4. This is going to be a horizontal card. We have our first layer, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then we took one of our ephemera pieces and our lemonade. We're going to cut this in half. This is a from the die cuts this little for the sentiment. I did tie my bow. And then these, we need 5 pieces of DSP. And look at that, I cut them the wrong way. I do that all the time with stripes, but oh well. These are 7/8 by 3 3/4. Must be something in the air today. So my stripes are going to go a different way this time. I even tried to look and said, okay, make sure my stripes are going the same way. But that's the joys of card making. Nobody knows but you and everybody watching now, but that they should have been going the other way. But that's okay. It'll still work. Stripes get me every time, though. Every time. Must have something to do with the fact that I'm pretty directionally challenged even when I drive. Thank God for GPS. So we're going to glue these 5 pieces down. Oops, I always push too hard. I always like to work from the outside in. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to that, but that's just seems to work out best for me. And I put this one down. Because with my stripes going that way, and then we have a piece of our DSP that is 5.5 by 1. I think it's just a little too long. I'll cut it off after I glue it down. I think it should have been 5 1/4. I'll cut it off. This is going to go like 3/4 of the way down. Oops. Like that. And we'll just snip that end off. There. No harm. Then we'll take our sentiment, and we're going to use Lost Lagoon ink again. And we're going to stamp "You're a Blessing to Me." More towards the left, so we can put our bow on there. And I'm crooked, but that's okay. Thanks, Evelyn. It's our secret. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead. We're going to use this as a sticker. Stick it down. Over here to the right side. Kind of near the bottom. And we're going to put our lemonade up on dimensionals, because why not? Oh, they're sticky dimensionals, okay? Oh, before I do that, even though I'd probably be okay, but let's go ahead and cut this little thing in half. It's close. And save that for another project, or if you want to make a second card. And we'll go ahead and stick this down. right about there, and then we'll put our lemonade jar on top of it. I like it there. And then we'll also put our sentiment up on dimensionals. Okay. And we'll just kind of put that right up to the lemonade jar. We'll take our little bow with a glue dot. Stick it on the card. This is just tied with some baker's twine. I'm going to stick that right there. And then we'll use our in-color butterflies to embellish our card. We're going to use the white ones. A little bitty one. There's white. White and the Barely Blush look so much alike. And then we'll do one more little one down there. And this one we didn't do anything in the inside, so this is ready to glue onto the front. So this kind of gives a good visual. It's like, which way do you like the stripes better? Horizontal or vertical? Gives a little bit of a different look. But it's not, I mean, I guess it works, right? Vertical or horizontal. So there's card number 2. Our next card is very fun. Very, very summery. So we're using some fun yellow. This is Darling Duckling. And I think I forgot to cut that out, so I'll have to do that. I'm pretty sure I forgot it. Oh, no, there it is. No, because I need 2 of those. So I'll have to cut that. This was originally used from the rounded rectangle punch. I do not have that punch. So what I did is I just cut out a piece of white that was 2 1/4 by 1 1/2, and I have a corner rounder, and I just cut it with that. So let me cut a piece. What do I do with my paper trimmer? You know, this room's not that big. Oh, there it is. Let me cut this down. So what did I say? 2 1/4 by 1 1/2. Well, that's right at 1 1/2. 2 1/4. Well, I guess, all right, I'm getting a little, so I need to cut it at 1 1/2. Okay, there we go. Let me get that out of the way. And my corner rounder, let me just get this out of the way. You like the vertical better? There we go. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. But like I said, I'm directionally challenged. Okay, so we need 2 of those rectangles with the rounded corners. These are cut from the Stylish Shapes, the largest circle. I tied my bow. This is a scallop cut from the set in Bubble Bath. We have our 3 pieces ephemera, our umbrella, our beach chair, and a seashell. We have a piece of DSP, which is the back side of this pretty yellow gingham, that is 4 3/4 by 1. And this one's just a little, looks like it's a little bit bigger, 5 by 1. Your card base is your 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Our first layer is your 5 1/4 by 4. That's going to go right on top of here. And then our DSP is cut at 5 3 3/4, which will go up on top of here. And what you see, what this is for the inside. One of these pieces. Yep. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's start gluing. We can glue this piece down for sure. It's a very summery card. I don't know. Besides the beach chair, I just think the color yellow just says summer. Let's glue that down. We'll set that aside for now because we're going to build this up. Okay. First thing we'll do is we'll glue down our scallop in the back, kind of to the left edge of the card. A lot of helicopters flying around out there today. I can hear them. Okay, and then next we're going to take our white circle and glue that down on top of the bubble bath scallop. Like that. And then this crumb cake, we just kind of tear it in half to kind of make it look like a little bit of sand. So I just tore it. Like that, and I just glued it down. I think it's still a little too big. Let's make it a little smaller. Like that. And then we'll just glue that down. Right on top of the circle, to kind of give it an idea of, the chair sitting in the sand. We're going to take one of our rectangles and we're going to stamp Happy Birthday in crumb cake. Like that. Let me close that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let's see. We can go ahead and glue this down. To this edge here. And then the chair is going to be up on dimensionals. And the umbrella is going to be right here. Get glue on my fingers. All right. And we're going to use the umbrella as a sticker. Maybe. There you go. So we want that. You can go over just a little bit because it'll be on the card base. And then we'll take the chair and put that up on dimensionals. And we'll put the shell up on a couple dimensionals too. I'll stick it. Let's do it like that. And then I'll take a glue dot and we'll stick down my bow. Right there. Looks like a good spot. Let's do the inside real quick. I'm not sure if I even brought that stamp out. Or the starfish. I don't think I punched out the starfish either. So let's get this stamp. And I'll stick it on a block. Get a crumb cake back out. Stamp our little rectangle. Wishing you a day of relaxation, happiness, and love. And then, where did I put those ephemera? We need our little starfish. There it is. A little starfish I need to punch out. I missed that when I was making my kits up. All right, we can go ahead and glue this onto the card front. And then on the inside, we're going to glue down the yellow. On the bottom. This, by the way, was thick, basic white cardstock, so you don't really need to put your, oh, this one's too short, so we're going to fake it. And we'll put this up on top. Oh, this was, no, it's a different size. Oh, well. It still works. It just gives it a different look. And we'll glue the sentiment down. Here. And then we'll use the starfish as a sticker. I know there's that line, but I hate bending them because it kind of leaves a crease in it. There you go. And we'll stick the starfish down. So there's the inside. So let's put a couple butterflies in the front. Let's use the barely blush ones. This one. 2 and 3. And there's our next card. We have 2 more to go. It's very fun, summery. And obviously I use different colors of cardstock. Never a dull moment with me in making cards. Okay, now if you know me, you'll know that this next one is my favorite. Because, yep, it has a bicycle on it. This is my favorite. How cute is that? So it's our ephemera bicycle. And then we used the modern oval punch. And we punched out two ovals and then cut them in half. Then we have a piece of DSP that is 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. Our card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. This is also cloud cover again. And then we have our 5 1/4 by 4 layer. But before I do that, I'm going to glue these things down because I have to stamp on here. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's see. This is going to kind of go there. And then this is going to go on top of it. Like that. So I am going to stamp right now. Because if I mess it up, I still can flip it over. You laughing at me, Evelyn? Yep, there's something about bicycles. I have quite a few of them hanging around my room. All right, so let me just stamp this. Like that. And then let's get to sticking this stuff down. So, I have a tendency to be off camera, so let me scoot this up. And you could use a pencil, to draw your line if you wanted to make this pretty even. That doesn't look too bad. And you can decide how you want your ovals to overlap. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way to do them. So make sure I'm still good. Yep, okay. I'm going to glue these down. Scoot that one in a little. Oops. And one more. And then we'll glue this piece down. This one's a really quick card, really. It's probably one of the quicker ones. And we're going to make sure we cover up the edges of the scallops down there and not cover up the... And there's that. And I didn't tie a bow, but I think I can do that. And then we're going to put the bicycle up on dimensionals, of course. Like that. Am I okay now? Yeah, you got to tell me when I get out of camera. I get so carried away. I have to look at my computer because on my phone it doesn't look too bad, but I got to watch on my computer. Does that look better? Am I good now? And then we're we're going to use some of these. Pink butterflies. It looks like I used crisp cantaloupe on those, but we're going to use these pink ones. And one more. Oh, I guess we want him to turn around. There. And I still have my twine. So I'll just tie a little quick bow, believe it or not. To twine, I do a little bit better with the baker's twine than ribbon. I don't know why, but I think I'm just too picky about how they look. And I'll get a glue dot. And we'll stick it up here in the basket. And there's our, oh no, I got to glue it down. Got a little excited thinking it was all done. And there we go. There's our next card. How cute is that? Who wouldn't want to receive that card in the mail? You can see how I did it different too. So I could have scooted my scallops up a little higher. It's always something. One more card. This one's fun. Kind of retro. We have our little VW bug, our little tag. This is going to be fun to show you a fun little scoring trick. I just need to get my dimensions real quick. So I'll talk about that. So we have our ephemera pieces, our little clouds. We cut a tag from the dies with sunshine. We have our little VW bug. We have our basic white, thick, basic white cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a layer of DSP. That's 4 by 5 1/4. We can go ahead and glue that down. Yes, those bicycles are so me. We can glue that down. Then we have a piece of white cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's going to go on top of here. And then a piece of bubble bath that we're going to score. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. That is 3 by 4. But we can go ahead and glue down this piece. Right here in the center-ish. Okay, I'm gonna use my Simply Score because it's bigger and I think you can see it better. You see that? Yeah. So we're gonna start on the long side, a 1/2 inch in, and then go 1/4 of an inch. How many times do we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to turn it around all the way, starting at a 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can do this on your paper trimmer too. I just like to use my Simply scoreboard. Okay. So that just gives it some fun dimensional. We're going to flip it and we're going to put it on this side. So it's kind of fun just to give it something different. We'll go ahead and glue that down. Doing that scoring like that is fun to do on a white cardstock. It really kind of gives it a striking appearance just to do some score lines on the white. All right. So there. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment in Misty Moonlight, the word hugs. Oh, that's not very good, but we're gonna roll with it. And then I'm going to use my little 1/8 inch punch. To punch a hole in the edge. So we can, I'm just guessing. Not bad. So we can put the twine through that. So let's go ahead and get this. So we're going to put the VW bug about here in the clouds. We're going to use like stickers and stick them down. And then we'll put the sunshine, because I didn't really care how I did it on my sample card. So I'm trying to do a little different. Okay. So let's go ahead and stick the clouds down. Oh my goodness. There you go. So one cloud. And our itty bitty cloud. They used dimensions. I'm using these as stickers, I think, because we'll put the VW bug up on dimensionals. We'll put the little sunshine right there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to do that part. So how am I going to do that? I'm not sure. We may just glue down the sentiment instead of using it as a tag. Since I forgot, I was supposed to wrap the twine around the pink part, the pink and white part. I'm thinking how I could do this, but there's no way. So I definitely don't want to put the twine around the VW bug. And I don't know how to tie it. Well, I guess I could. Maybe let's try something. Let's try something. Not sure this will work. But bear with me for a second. I'm going to give this a whirl. I'm going to tie this on here like this. And then I think I'm just going to glue it down underneath, and it'll still look like a tag. You know, one more little knot. And I'll stick it under here, and it could still hang off the side. I'll just use a little bit of seal. What do you think? Is it going to work? Yep, if I can make my seal work. Yeah. I think that'll work. Close enough. Put our little VW bug there. And look at that. That works. Almost the same, just a little different. And there we go. There's all our cards. Let me see if I can zoom out. Let's see if I can get them all in here. Probably not, but you get the idea. So we made 5 cards today. Yeah, they're pretty much in camera. You can kind of see them. So that's fun with ephemera. If you haven't used ephemera, I highly recommend giving it a try. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch the replay, let me know. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Have a great day. Bye.